at any given time is actually a game that helps us master our mindset and focus our mind and help us identify any given time in life where we are actually uh, uh, um, we need to reconsider what we're doing, and it gives us a framework, right? Now, at any given time in life, we are going to be in the present. We consider that the past doesn't exist or the future doesn't exist, right? We have other tools that are also called at any given time for that. But this one is focusing only on the present, right? And at any given time, we are in the present. And according to psychology great Dr. Sigmund Freud, right? Sigmund Freud is a specialist when it comes to helping people get better. And Abraham Maslow, who's also a great psychologist, is more specialized in helping people stay better, right? So Sigmund Freud here is focusing on the things that make us sick, right? But this whole presentation is more holistic. Now, Sigmund Freud has this principle called the pleasure principle. Don't judge quickly. But the pleasure principle is essentially saying that every time in life when we are going to try to have pleasure, we are going to go towards pleasure every single time, we are going to avoid pain. Now, when you pay a little more attention, you realize that pleasure, in fact, is faith and love, right? And then pain, on the other end, is fear. Fear and hate. But at the same time, it goes further because here we essentially just have fearlessness. Because no one wants to be afraid ever unless it's for entertainment. Now, when we are facing these two dichotomies at any given time in life, we are also facing another dichotomy between good and bad. But when the whole diagram is developed, we are going to get to the bottom of what's really pertinent here. But here, we're going to try to be good, and we are going to try to avoid bad things. We're going to want to be positive and avoid negative. We are going to respect the truth and not like lies, right? This is systematic for every human being. At any given time, we find ourselves in in these two parallel. It is in fact just one, because pain is bad and good is faith. But we differentiate them because they involve two aspects of life. Because this is more in our mind and this is more in our behavior, right? But the reality is that at any given time in life, when we are going to be fearless and do something out of faith and love and something that gives us pleasure, and at the same time is something that's good, positive, and true, we are going to be sincere and creative. Every human being can achieve creativity just by focusing on that. Now, at any given time in life, when we are trying to do something bad out of fear, we are trying to do something out of fear that's also bad, we are going to end up being hypocrites. Hypocrisy and, let's say, evil. Now, at any given time in life, when we are going to do something out of fear, and at the same time it's something good, but we are afraid that we can't do it, we don't have the ability to achieve our dreams, but at the same time these dreams are positive, good, and true, and we actually see that we have a purpose in it, but our pain, our fears, or our hate keep us from making moves. That means we have limiting beliefs or ignorance, right? Now, at any given time in life, when we want to do something that's fearless, based on faith and good and positive, but at the same time, it's based on a lie and it's bad and it's negative, we are going to have bad faith and a big ego, right? So these are the four sort of broader categories that we can find ourselves in our mind, body, and soul. But the thing that's pertinent with this presentation here is that self-actualization, which is the process by which human beings achieve full potential, find their purpose, their path, their talents, and now figure out a way to actually go out there and do something that gives them fulfillment and love and passion and all these things. It only happens here. Everywhere else, we're making mistakes. And so that's the idea of uh, um, being able to scan our mindset and our behavior in a way that help us identify the situations in life where we are not being sincere, we are not being fearless, operating out of fake pleasure, the things that give us pleasure and the things that are good, positive, and true. That's the only place where self-actualization happens. The next topic that we have is about the how to get these big jobs in these giant companies. Because I work for, I said it earlier, I think the Federal Reserve, HBO, Lockheed Martin, American Express, a bunch of companies also in the private sector, in the public sector with government, federal government agencies like the GSA. And so I have a lot of experience getting tough jobs in very competitive environments. And so what I wanted to share, because people are continuously ask how I managed to find this job, so I figured that we can make this part of this presentation so that we can essentially cover some of the key points that I came up with, and I broke them down into categories. The things that people think are super important that are actually not that super important, and the things that are actually super important, in my opinion.